Ready?
Thank you.
Please stand for the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands. I'd like to call the March 12th, 2026 meeting of Egg Harbor City Council to order. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the state of New Jersey adequate notice of this meeting of the Egg Harbor City Council was provided in the following manner. It's posted on the Egg Harbor City Bulletin Board. It was posted on the Egg Harbor City website, and notices were sent to the Hamilton Gazette and the Press of Atlantic City. Roll call, please.
Mayor Jim Petty. Dovey.
Here.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist.
Here.
Hesse.
Yes.
Keener.
Here.
Ortiz.
Here.
Sen.
Here.
Timbers.
Here.
Right.
Yes. Here. Number 4 is public comment on agenda items only. Is there anybody here that would like to speak on any agenda items? Seeing none, we'll go to number 5, which is approve the minutes
Make the motion. Second.
of February 26th. Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. No mayor tonight. She had a prior commitment that she had to be at. And we'll start with
She wants to say the inductees to the Honor Society at Cedar Creek.
Honor Society at Cedar Creek. Okay. And we'll start with the committees. Mason, did you want to?
Yes, Jerry, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I just got your email today.
Yeah. If you want me to go over it, I can, but it's
I kind of went over it. I mean, Jeremy
okay.
here today from the skate park.
Okay.
I know that there's a first step that you wanted to get done, and I was just wondering if that's something that we can attempt tonight or
Sure.
get the ball rolling.
Let's give it a shot, Mason, if you want to bring it up.
Okay. I guess we got to first basically get a vote on whether or not the council wants a skate park, and then basically out of the two areas, Lincoln Park and next to the DP building.
Yeah.
Works building. So
That's
basically,
correct.
to basically bring up about the as we've been talking about for the last few years about the skate park coming to Egg Harbor City.
Well, before we do that,
Okay.
to call for a vote, we do have our risk manager,
Okay.
insurance
Okay.
guy here, and John, would you come up? John DiAugustino is our risk manager.
Yeah.
And he's here to answer any questions
Okay.
that anybody has pertaining to the skate park.
And Jason's also here too, who runs the whole fundraising. program
Okay.
for the skates.
Great.
Excuse me, we're here.
We'll answer a lot of questions.
We're here for that too. We would like to comment also,
Awesome.
the three of us.
Okay.
before the vote. Thank you.
Not a problem.
I don't think we're voting.
All right. First of all, John, do you have anything that you can start off with and tell us what your thoughts are?
I think it started last year, and what I did, I went to the statewide insurance fund where you have your insurance, and I just asked them if they could give us some guidelines. Which they did. We sent this off to, I'm not sure if everybody saw it. I know the safety committee saw it. I know the administrator saw
I distributed it. John, I did distribute it to everyone.
it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess first, I'm a risk manager. And so what you have to understand is, the first thing I look at is risk avoidance. So naturally that would be, just don't do it. But that being said, often people want to do things that I think would not be of best interest as far as liability. Statewide gives us rules, or should say rules, guidelines to make sure that the city is protected and the public is protected. So I'm not saying risk manager says no, but if it's a yes, then we should follow the guidelines and make sure we're doing it the right way so that all of the citizens are going to be protected. The earlier this year, we saw our insurance go up 11% because the 5-year loss ratio of the city has been elevated. Already this year, we're probably looking at a dozen claims, and we're only in March. If we follow these guidelines, we're protecting. I have to tell you that some of these things are, when I read them, I'm saying, I don't know how that's gonna work. So what the statewide ask is that the architect designs it, not ours. They ask that a company that builds these actually installs it. Now, I look back years ago, I remember building parks. Parents all got together, just did it. Unfortunately, liability, those days are done. So if it's designed by an architect, it's installed by a company who makes it, and then a couple of things that are very easy. You have to put up signage. One of the things that I believe would be difficult, they ask that a waiver is formed, signed. Now, I don't know, some of the people that are here, I don't know if other towns are doing that. Statewide asks that you sign a waiver, which I can, above 18, you would have to have parents sign it for minors. They like to see it supervised. I've seen this in larger municipalities that have a lot more manpower, that isn't as difficult, but doesn't have to be, none of these things have to be done. This is what they're telling you. Good.
That was my question next, but it doesn't have to be supervised.
Doesn't have to be supervised. You don't have to put up signs. You could build it yourself. It's just what they're doing is saying how you minimize the risk so that the claims. Second part of risk management is risk transfer. So by having an architect do it, the design, and having a company install it, rather than have Egg Harbor City employees install it, you're transferring the risk.
Correct.
So we would like to see as much risk transfer as possible. So the architect, now the signage, it's easy, anybody can throw those up. They request that you have periodic inspections. So it could be as simple as a daily walkthrough and just see, has anything come loose? Has anything broken? Is there any sharp edges that weren't there yesterday? So you can take care of any of the things that are obvious immediately. I don't know what you would plan as far as times. I have seen two things. I've seen one where certain time it gets locked. I also saw a municipality that I represent have someone climb over the fence because it was locked. So it's a two-way street. To me, if you're gonna do it, the prudent thing would be to lock it. If somebody falls from a 20-foot height because it was locked, we're gonna say, why did we put a lock on the thing? Because it just let them go in and they wouldn't have gotten hurt. Some of the things I've seen, it was being used by other than its design purpose. So I believe you're looking at just a skateboard. So we have seen, for example, in some of the municipalities where it looked really attractive for a bicycle too, so I'll go in there. That's where the supervision comes in. I don't know how you stop, because I know if I was riding by on a bicycle, I would think it's a good idea to try one of those things.
A lot of skate parks have signage on it though that say no bicycles, no rollerblading, no this, that, no that.
Yes,
So the risk would technically be again in the person's,
Well,
Right.
what they would, the person doing that, but if it's, or if it's enforced. So are the police gonna be monitoring it? Are they gonna be riding by and saying, wait, there's a bicycle on there, I gotta get them off? But as I said, all of this stuff is doable. It's just how much work and how much, how many of these steps you can put in place to make it safer. So I don't know if anybody has any other questions with the insurance, but
I just have a comment.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think we talked about a long time ago was, I always, growing up, used to skate on the Egg Harbor City Lake, and everybody did it. We actually had bonfires out in the middle of the lake and skated around it. And, over time, because of these type of things, that kind of thing went away. And not that we can't do it, but it puts the city at a really high risk tolerance. And I think that's kind of the same thing they're saying here.
yeah, I, not this municipality, but at another municipality, I said, I would like to see you sell all of the vehicles, fire all the employees, get rid of all the buildings, and I'll have a year where we have no claims. That's not realistic, and I understand it. So, in my heart, I say, no, this is a bad idea, but I know that you may want to do it, and then let's take as many safety steps as we can. But if you said risk management 101, I'd say have somebody form an LLC, donate the land to them, let the LLC do this, and Egg Harbor City's off. They don't have any risk at all. But that's John DiAugustino's role. That's, I
Mhm.
see somebody else have it. Let them have get all the glory. It's John's LLC, and look what they're doing for the kids.
What happens at Crusaders and E-Rec? Somebody gets hurt there.
They have their own insurance.
I have my own insurance.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so,
They're covered. They're covered and they're a legit LLC or 501c3.
yes.
Yeah, you guys are 501c, correct?
Yeah.
So let's say there's a
Hold on a
park,
second.
and let's say there's a swing. And you have a 5-year-old who swings on a swing and they want to go as high as they
At
can.
that point.
And they go high enough and they fall off the swing.
Mhm.
Right? Would the municipality have more liability if they were not manning it, and it was just a swing? Or if they had a personnel who was there, standing there, little kid on a swing, and the kid now falls off the swing? I would think there may be more liability potentially if you are manning it, because the second the person is not manning it and a kid uses the swing and falls, now you've made a swing an issue of liability that may not have been before. So that's my concern. If we were to say, okay, well, you have to have someone who is going to supervise people using a skate park, which is honestly the way these things are built, they're like, it's like something could be as the height of like a couple bones,
Mhm.
but long, and someone just kind of goes off and grinds on it,
Sure.
just a piece of metal,
Mhm.
right? But someone who's not a good skater could go off of that and just fall.
Most of the injuries are first time user. Borrows it. Has no idea. Once people get used to using them, they're safe. It's just that, but most skateboard is just, hey, let me try it.
I got a question.
Yeah,
Now, you have a kid that's skateboarding down Phillyette, falls off the skateboard, gets hurt. Who's liable?
yeah, well,
But there's no difference whether they fall off on the sidewalk or they fall off in a park.
well,
It's no different.
No, the only
And that's
difference
right there.
is-
No different than the tennis court, the pickleball court, the
people
playground.
get hurt playing tennis. They
Exactly.
get hurt playing basketball. Well, you asked what a risk.
Yeah, no, I
People minimize the
know.
risk. But if someone, I think the sidewalks, I believe we have a sidewalk ordinance that the sidewalk belongs to the homeowner.
Mhm.
So we transfer that risk.
Okay, well, if they fall off under the road.
But if they fall in the park
Mhm.
or in the road, yes, and we have liability and we pay.
Mhm.
So you're saying if it's sanctioned by the city, then there's more liability that way?
We pick up if they fall on my sidewalk in front of my house,
Mhm.
they're gonna sue me. It's gonna be
Mhm.
Right.
my insurance. So we transfer that risk
Not in
to
New Jersey.
the home.
It's not the way it works in New Jersey. New Jersey municipality can pass ordinances requiring people to remove snow from their sidewalks, to repair the sidewalks. But typically, if someone were to fall on a sidewalk, the only way you can kind of transfer liability if it's a commercial property. But if it's residential property, municipality tends to eat it. So, I mean, insurance companies do not have to pay.
We've actually won that case where it was the person fell at a home. And they went after the
On
city,
the
this is
side?
years ago though.
Oh,
But they went after the city and we actually did win that because of the sidewalk ordinance that we
I have a
weren't
question.
responsible for the. Now, that's probably going back 20 years ago. I think, yeah, it's probably at least 20 years ago.
You were a teenager then.
I think, I was young, yeah, I started.
But the question I asked before
Yeah.
was that the more control that the municipality takes as far as monitoring.
Yeah, well, the supervisor, what they're doing there is they want supervisor that's gonna make sure that they signed a waiver. That was where that was tying in. They wanted it supervised, they wanna make sure, like we had said, like no bikes, nobody's. The sign says that, but doesn't mean it doesn't happen. The supervisor idea they have here is that everybody signs a waiver. If it's a minor, their parents sign the waiver, and as long as there's a waiver, go ahead.
But what does the waiver cover? If they were to sign a waiver, my question is if they sign the waiver,
Mhm.
and let's say that there was a signage on the front of the skateboard
Mhm.
park, and there's a QR code on it that says scan here to sign waiver. They hit it, it gives a timestamp of when they did it, they go skate, and they 45 minutes after that. And then they go, oh, well, I fell, and then it turns out the person didn't sign it, and then they try to do it last minute. Well, you just fell, and you can somewhat prove that they didn't sign it. They just try to do it last second after they fell. I'm sure they're,
Yeah.
so they follow it. But one of my question is though, is what does the waiver cover though, that it would need supervision there? Because I mean,
What the waivers is. I read it, I'm fully aware of the fact there are special dangers and risk inherent in the activity of skateboarding, including the risk of serious physical injury, death, or other consequences that may arise or result directly or indirectly from skateboarding. Being fully informed as to these risks and in consideration of being allowed to participate in city skateboarding activities and or use of city facilities, I hereby assume all risk of injury, damage, and liability arising out of such activities or use and hereby release the city, its officials, the whole.
Right.
Is that hold up in court, Chris?
And of the right of recovery that I might have to bring claim or lawsuit against them for any personal injury, death, or other consequences occurring,
Yeah, I think your issue with the waiver, I mean, it's a good point. Like if somebody's not there to monitor it, nobody's gonna sign a waiver. And I don't think 16-year-old kids are gonna show up with their parents to sign a waiver to get into the skate park either. So I'm not 100% sure that, that a waiver is really feasible, unless you're gonna staff it. I think the staffing, not only to have waivers signed, but also to make sure that the skate park is being used appropriately, is your defense against if you don't have anybody there. If you don't have anybody there and people are using the skate park inappropriately, you're going to be potentially liable for the fact that you weren't, you knew it was an inherent risk and you didn't do anything to protect it. It'd be like having it's not a great example because the risks are much more dangerous in a city pool, but it's a city pool without lifeguards, right? And that would be like, oh, you just leave the gates open, anybody can come in and swim, right? Swim at your own risk, and you can see the liability there. Tort Claims Act would still protect the city for some of the potential liabilities. But to your point, if you need to inspect it, because if you're not inspecting it and there is, one of the pieces is deficient and there's been complaints about it, that would trigger liability or sharp edges that have been ground down for whatever reason. So, but I think to Councilman Wright's point earlier, swings and playgrounds are inherently risky as well, and people get hurt playing pickleball and things like that. So, it's an amenity that if council were to move forward with it, the risk manager's point is there's things you can do to minimize your risk, because it's naive to think that there's not going to be some sort of accident or injury at that amenity, regardless of whatever the amenity is. So how do you give yourself the best chance to be protected by Tort Claims Act or something like that, where you can avoid liability?
Now, if this group that wants to do this, if they created an LLC and had their own insurance, that would release the city from any kind of liability.
You'd have to point earlier. I mean, you couldn't own the property either. If you own the property, then you're still going to be potentially on the hook as the property owner.
The property is leased to the entity.
It depends. I mean, the devil will be in the details on how the lease is written, but potentially, I mean, you can be indemnified under the lease, presumably.
Because how would that work with the Casadersville? Because Casadersville is technically, or Key Rec is technically leased out to the city, but we have our own insurance.
They have their own insurance.
Yeah.
So, but that's what.
Your insurance probably indemnifies the city from any injury that occurs during that time.
But wouldn't that be the same thing as if we leased the?
Mhm.
Well, that's what I said, like the devil's in the details. It depends how it's written. Yes.
Yeah, if, in other words, it's going to be how you word it. If he words it, then they're, but
Or do they have different ratings for the different activities of how risky they are?
no, they don't,
There are no ratings for the different activities.
they're not even gonna raise your rates.
Oh, that
The only thing is the claims are what winds up raising the rates.
Yeah, so if you get a whole bunch of claims next year, the rates will go up because of that.
If you build it and there's 0 claims, there's no change at all.
Okay,
So,
Yes.
go ahead.
okay, well then, if the skate park can be created through an LLC, whether the land is bought by the entity or leased by the entity, why would we not do it that way?
Well,
That just seems like the thing that would make sense. That way we get to have a skate park and the city is off the hook if anything happens.
So,
Right? Or is that simplifying it too much? I'm just trying to.
so the issue is that majority, these companies that build skate
That's
parks,
right.
once they build it, they basically it's something that they raise the funds for it, but they are then giving it to the municipality. They did not want to stay and be on the hook for long-term maintenance or insuring it. They're not going to want to. I mean, the gentleman is here.
But that would be their responsibility.
Before we go to
If you
him,
want them to take their responsibility, he's not going to.
Let them speak to that.
before you go to that, I think our administrator had some comments on this too, and I should put you first, Jerry, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So I wanted to make sure that we respected John's time. So John has already been to City Hall earlier today. So this is his second visit, and I appreciate, he only lives close by, but I appreciate him coming by. And nobody's going to be able to explain shifting the liability better than John. So let's put it that way, right? So I have questions that I provided everyone. And if you didn't get a copy, please let me know. But Jody, I'm going to share the screen so I can put this up. Okay. So this was basically the outline of a presentation that I'm doing right now. So it's not really a prepared presentation, and I wanted to make sure. Can you see it?
Not yet.
See your
calendar.
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry. 5 o'clock tonight, any questions?
I can see it.
Your skate park was sent out at 5 o'clock.
It was, yeah. Yeah, it was, yeah.
We didn't have a meeting till today.
That's why he did it.
Yeah, but at 5 o'clock, like.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Want to be here.
No, I didn't expect anyone to see it. I just want to make sure that if you didn't get it, I can send it to you tomorrow again. But I have it up here, Donna, as a share. So let me just try to share this again. Okay, so let's go back to Zoom. Share. How about now?
Not yet. There it is. We got it.
Okay, good. So the questions I shared, the question I asked the committee and then blind copied everyone else is, council will need to pick the location of the park. If you recall from the last meeting and even the prior meeting, Lincoln Park, and Ryan will confirm this, is a Superfund site. So Lincoln Park may not be the location that a new park gets built. We have a park there. But at some point, we will be using state or federal money to clean up that Superfund site when we go through the entire process that we're currently in with trying to get all the brownfields and Superfund sites identified in the city. So I really think that the only location that is in play is the second location, which is the Buffalo Avenue location across from Philadelphia Village behind DPW. So at some point, my point is council will have to vote on a location to move forward. But before we move forward, I need to identify, or I need to ask council to identify a funding source, right? I understand that there has been conversation about fundraising, and that's great. I mean, I appreciate everybody who volunteers and fundraises. But in order to undertake something like this, and like I said, I want to appreciate John because I couldn't do what John just did or what John can do. But there are decisions that council has to make regarding what funding source are we going to use to pay the engineer, to pay the architect, to pay the attorney, and to pay the builder who builds this thing. Are we paying for all the professionals ourselves? Or will the skate park group place money in escrow to be able to pay for all of that, right? So I have some basic numbers that I'm just kind of spitballing here, but an engineer for permitting and drainage design is at least $40,000. An architect could be 15. Attorneys, there's just an agreement, so there's a little bit of money there. But then we're looking at a $200,000 to maybe $300,000 skate park based on how it gets designed. I understand that they may be, well, we could do it cheaper and all of that stuff. I get all of that. But I'm just looking at some of the potential costs. Number 3, will there...
Well, that's actually an important point too, because
Yeah.
you're going to do it on the idea that you donate the land and somebody does it as an LLC. And I don't know if that's the plan, but that was one of the options that was thrown out. If it's done pursuant to, if it's even if it's leased and it's still city property, you're governed by local public contracts law. So you have to go through prevailing wage and everything like that.
Correct.
So it's going to be,
much higher cost for us than anyone else, truthfully.
One question.
I do have
We got to finish his point.
Yeah, let Harry finish.
It won't take long. Number 3. So the question, and I think it was already raised, is this going to be a Crusader or a Key Rec type of relationship where the skate park becomes a 501c3 and provides annual insurance, which, as John, explained, our well-established outside groups, youth sport groups, have their own insurance, and we not only request that annually, but we review it annually. John reviews it annually to make sure that it's current and is appropriate. Number 4 is, if the skate park is at your own risk, will our attorney or risk manager develop rules and regulations for the users? That's probably a yes question, but if not, and then who does that? Number 5, who'll be responsible for safety inspections? Will it be a city employee? Will it be a volunteer? I'm not sure if we can get away with having a volunteer do it. So it would probably have to be a city employee. Number 6, is there a plan if and when we have to decommission or close this and it becomes either unruly or vandalism occurs? As everyone can see, or maybe has seen, and hopefully has not seen, but there's a lot of tagging and there's a lot of spray painting at the Better Built Doors where the impromptu skate park was built. That could be argued like it's art and street art and all of that stuff, but typically if there's vandalism or if there's tagging, at a park, someone will find out, they will call us, they will get in touch with the mayor or me or someone and tell us to go clean it up. And so when that happens, who's responsible for that vandalism? The last thing is, and I think we kind of touched on it, but not necessarily, well, parents need to be present when kids use the park. If not, how do we prevent, and I hate to bring this up, but how do we prevent groomers or other persons with intent to harm underage users? How do we prevent that from happening? Do we put cameras here? Is it something that gets locked after a certain amount? So really what I'm trying to stress is there's so many questions that it's just not something where we can say, okay, I vote and I second the vote to build a skate park. There's a lot involved here. Typically, when we build a park, a funding source has already been found. Either we have a grant, or we have Ryan or Jody or someone, or our grant writers, Triad, find additional money to do that. We're not undertaking anything. The reason we rebuilt the Winberg building and the reason we rebuilt the tennis courts with pickleball is because of the water department sales, right? We had money in place to do that. We're talking about building something that could cost several $100,000 without a penny in place yet. And so I just want to not put the cart before the horse and kind of really bring this down and focus on this. Now, like I've said to council, I've got a couple of months where I'm doing a special project, so there's some time to talk about it. But these are really my most concerning questions. And that's because I'm not a risk manager and I'm not an attorney. I'm going to stop sharing.
Jerry, would there be a number 9, Pinelands? Would Pineland?
Yeah. So that's in the number with the engineer.
Okay.
It would be permitting. Permitting would be something where we could probably get it approved over a 12 to 18 month period, but there would have to be drainage. And Ryan, I don't think you should bring up the fact that Pinelands and Ryan don't get along with drainage right now, but they don't get along with drainage. So.
Yeah, hold on one second. Gary, not to cut you off, but 80% of these questions were answered at the meeting that we had. Do you remember?
They were answered at the park committee meeting. I'm not sure if they were ever discussed or asked of council. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, that like 80% of them were answered. But I did bring Jason and Jeremy both here to answer all those questions.
Yeah.
So I can do it quickly and easily.
All right, why don't we call you up?
Yeah, thank you. Would
Thank you,
you mind pulling those questions back up on the screen?
Oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah, hold on.
Thank
Let me
you.
get that.
Thank you, sir. Just to give everybody a little. Just to give you guys a little bit of background about myself, I run Skate AC, 501c3. We built both skateboard parks in Atlantic City. We have a really good record over there as far as having zero lawsuits, excuse me. And you can look the statistics up for yourself. There's over 90 public skateboard parks in the state of New Jersey. Most years there are 0 lawsuits. Every once in a while, you'll get one where they stopped paying attention to the park and a ramp fell apart and maybe somebody got hurt. So that is like the number one. If you got any liability claims, it would be because of not taking care of the park, which we, our whole community is constantly monitoring. That's why you have the park over there for so many years. Skaters want to skate things that are good, and our community cares about this stuff. We want the kids to have somewhere to go and the community to have somewhere to go. And I know it's easy to look at these things as a liability, but you might not get sued, but there is a liability if you don't give the youth somewhere to go. You have the highest depression, obesity, addiction rates amongst the youth that you've had in recorded history right now for this generation. So that's why we advocate for this. And if you look up the facts of what's in New Jersey, I really would recommend calling Jersey City, Bayonne. You have multiple parks in these much larger communities where there are no lawsuits. They're open to the public. There's no waivers. The signs are posted, just like basketball courts, football courts. And I purposely designed what are called low cost, low impact parks. So they are less of like humongous ramps that you would see on the X Games, more of like a driveway ramp you would see in your driveway, or a curb you would see out front of your house. These are for kids to learn on, to be safe, and to prevent injury. I've been doing this for 25 years as a skateboarder, so I know how to develop these things so that the injury rates are not there. We've got the questions up here, so I'll go through them.
Can you see them? You okay with?
Yeah.
Want me to make it bigger?
Does this thing come? Can I take this off?
Yes.
Okay, so number one, you'll need to choose a location. Number two, what funding source? We would pay for everything. My business partner on the nonprofit is Bob Marley's son and Lauren Hill's husband. So Raise Funds is easy. They have millions of followers and massive support base. His name is Rohan Marley. We have, let's see, number three, Willet Crusader Skateboard Group. We are a 501c3. If we had to do the insurance for the first year, we could look up the costs just so that you guys could see that there are no lawsuits around something like this. I'd rather not, but I'm confident that you're not going to have those issues. And just so you guys know, you can also look it up. Pickleball has just as high injury rates as skateboard parks, and nobody ever asked these questions when it comes to pickleball. And it's because the rates of the people who are doing it are a lot older, and they're actually more likely to sue. Because kids are just there to have fun. And then you have skate park would be at your own risk, number 4. So the rules and regulations, we could work on that together. Obviously, our parks in Atlantic City, one of them has cameras on it, and the police station, so constantly, watching over who's using it. The safety inspections are the skaters and the community themselves. We will constantly be there to advocate for a safe space, as we do in Atlantic City at both of our parks. If there's ever a crack that emerges and needs to be filled, we'll go there immediately and make sure that it's safe. Is there a plan for decommissioning or closing if the use becomes unruly or vandalism occurs? I mean, we go and paint over any vandalism at our skate parks in Atlantic City, so we could run the same type of thing here. We advocate against it. Wherever there's youth congregating, sometimes you do have some vandalism. That's, if you look at New York City, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, when you build safe spaces for kids to go, you will get a little bit of graffiti. That just means you're doing your job and giving the children somewhere to go. We can paint over that, but that's actually a sign half of the time that you're getting them off the streets and giving them somewhere where they feel welcome. So, I talked here before, and you don't do this, you're letting the youth become trespassers and, labeled as loiterers and making them feel unwelcome and rejected by the community, which they are future. So I don't think that's a good plan, and creates liabilities in other ways long term. Who will be responsible for the repair? We'll take on that, and will parents need to be present? It's definitely something you can put on the signage and advocate for. This one about the groomers, you could have that at any park where there's any sport or any playground. That's kind of a weird question, but I would say that we will be policing ourselves.
Right. So this is, it looks like, and I'm just going to highlight it or try to highlight it, but it looks like what you're talking about is the same relationship we have with the Crusaders, where they have a 501c3, they're certified, and then they give us annual insurance submission. One of the requirements is that they have. So it really seems like the skate park group would potentially be similar to the Crusaders, where it's city leased. Mason, I don't know how much do we don't get anything from the Crusaders. I don't know if we get any money from the Crusaders. I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I think it was like $1.
Yeah, it might be something nominal, which is probably, it's very, yeah. So that's not, but it looks like that the group, I don't know who the gentleman is. I'm sorry, I can't see you. So I don't know who the gentleman. Jason, is it Jason up there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it seems like you're talking as if it would be potentially city property leased to the 501c3, and then a skate park would be built under the 501c3, and the 501c3 would take on the liability of it. That's also another option. That was something that our risk manager even discussed just a few minutes ago. So The concern of cost typically it's not going to be a concern of mine because everyone's going to take on the cost. So I'm not a decision maker. I'm the operations guy. So you really have to convince council that a skate park run by the 501c3, similar to the Crusaders on leased city land with annual insurance requirements satisfied to our risk manager, I think that could be a path forward. I don't see a problem with that. But like I said, I don't make the decisions. I don't make the vote. That's council members, and you're looking at them up on the dais.
Mr. Klotz, one of the things that you mentioned was maintenance.
Yes.
I remember Love Park in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They couldn't keep the skateboarders out of there.
Right.
And I think the liability comes down to your maintenance and inspection records versus assumption of risk. So with something like this, if it's going to be important that that there's some type of program for maintenance and inspection.
Sure.
If you guys were doing the maintenance and inspection, that would still have to be somehow coordinated and overseen by the city.
Sure.
Part of what you do you educate the city on how to inspect and maintain?
Of course.
The parks?
Yeah, it's pretty basic stuff, you know, they're just curbs and ramps and things, and it's concrete, so you would really notice if there was a massive issue, it'd basically be a hole or something would form in the ground. It's just, you know, and Love Park, for the record, was not ever a skateboard park. It was just
not a district.
Yeah, that they didn't want skateboard.
They just couldn't keep them out.
Yeah, exactly. And they're actually building a skateboard plaza in Center City, Philadelphia, that I was a part of the group advocating for, that opens up in April outside of City Hall with the help of Vans. So, you know, the tides have shifted. This has always been the issue, is that people are always scared because a lot of times, you know, respectfully, it's older people making the decision on whether or not will be built, and they just assume kids are going to fall on their head and call their parents and get a lawyer. But that is just historically not what happens there. Like I said, there are 90-something skateboard parks in the state of New Jersey, and you can research the amount of lawsuits there are, and the majority of years there are zero. So it's just something to consider.
Yeah, Joe, may I ask another question?
Sure.
Of Jason. So Jason, are you aware, are a couple of neighboring municipalities, Galloway and Mullica, they closed their was your group involved in those skate parks?
No, that was many years ago. And that was a situation, I believe, in Galloway where the ramps were not maintained. And those are what are called prefab parks, where they're prefabricated ramps that were put in that also, you know, the concrete ones are actually, you know, on the ground, attached to the ground. A lot of times the issues come from when these ramps prop up and there might be something that sticks out, and that's prefabricated issue was way. Yeah.
Thank you. No, thank you for that. I appreciate that, because I didn't know what the you know, I don't know who created those parks. It must have been the municipality themselves.
Yeah, they closed down a long while back.
During this whole process, I've been hearing, you know, this is for the kids, right?
Yes.
And now I wasn't over at the park where the skate park when it was on Atlantic Avenue that was built by whoever was using it. But my understanding was that mostly were 25, 30-year-old guys.
They're kids too.
Yeah,
if they passed away, you would say they died young.
But how would you manage that? How would you manage, you know, a little 5-year-old or 10-year-old?
Sure.
Wanting to go on the park when there's guys that are 30, 40 years old.
So the guys who are older are, you know, just like if you were on a basketball court and there were little kids playing with basketballs, they're aware that this is a youth learning, and they are typically helping to teach them how to do this.
Would there be a section of the park for the smaller kids or not?
That's, you know, not what typically happens, but realistically, it's not as much of an issue as you would think. These guys were also once little kids, so they're very aware of the process that these kids are going through. And, you know, typically we are mentoring these kids. We are now, could a board slip out and hit a kid if the guy doesn't land his trick and the kid doesn't know what's going on? Possibly, but it's a very rare circumstance. We definitely are very conscientious about making sure everybody has a good time, you know, so and yes, to your point, it's not just, we do this for the kids because the kids are the ones that really have nothing to do and nowhere to go. But there are also older people who skateboard, and it's for everybody, you know?
The skating community typically tends to stick to itself and
Yeah.
they help each other out.
So can I add to that too? Just from being involved around with the kids and stuff, and but like when we have like our adult basketball, say for say, 90% of the people have kids. Those little kids are on the court playing with the 90% where you're committed. I don't know much about skating, never really skated, don't know much about it. But as far as basketball, football, and everything, when you have adults that are dedicated to the program that they're doing, they see young kids pick up a basketball, pick up a football. The last thing they're doing is pushing the kid off the court and saying, we it's our court. They're taking that kid under their wing and they're teaching them how to do a layup, how to do a shot.
Great.
What it's doing is more of a benefit for the kid than anything else.
Right.
So I'm assuming that probably with skateboarding is probably the same thing.
Yeah.
You see a little kid struggling on the skateboard, you're gonna teach them how to, you know,
In
stay on the
Atlantic
pool.
City, we run programming for the
Right.
youth. We teach them lessons, and we are, you know,
Right.
there's tons of kids that I mentored and our community mentored that are now sponsored skateboarders that teach other kids how to skateboard. And it's kind of like, if it becomes generations just recycling energy and investing energy into the next generation. So.
I did hear, go ahead.
Is this a, hi Jason,
how you doing?
is this a full-time job for you or are you volunteering?
I started the nonprofit and it is a volunteer movement. I have a regular job, but this is.
So how much time do you usually spend there?
At the skateboard parks?
Skateboard parks, you have yours, one side.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not like monitoring the parks every day, all day. I go by a few hours a day, or I wouldn't even say a few hours a day. What it is that skateboarding is like how you would have a social network on the phone. We're a social network at the parks. We're all in touch through the phones, but also in person. So the community is constantly aware of what's happening at the park. We're communicating with each other about what's going on in the park, mainly like who did what tricks and things of that nature. But like if something were to happen with a ramp or something, I'm typically the first person that people will call. Hey man, this, you know, thing is, and we really don't have those types of issues, but like we've had a few incidents with graffiti where somebody will send me a picture and then I know, okay, we got to go over there and paint that, like that.
Joe, so Joe, one thing. So Joe, I want to apologize because it's going on for a little while, and I apologize for the impromptu presentation, but it's really great that everyone came together. John, that I had time to go through these questions that I was concerned about, and that Jason and others are there. I'm not sure if it's something that continues at this meeting or a subsequent meeting, but I just wanted to, apologize that this presentation or this discussion is going on for maybe a little bit longer than I think we may have planned.
Thing, Jerry, that maybe we could call a special meeting.
Yeah.
Council
of
President.
Council, one sec, have a special meeting of city council that we could
Yeah.
come up with concrete things, like the idea that sticks in my head is about the 501c3, where you guys would,
Yeah.
you would run it. We don't have the resources in the city to manage it, to do all the things that you're talking about, need to have done on there. I would personally, and the rest of the council has said too, but I personally would be more comfortable with that type of setup than just you guys building it and throwing it the responsibility on the city. 1 second, you go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to call for a vote to move forward with working out the details for both sides, to protect both sides. I think the city has to want to protect the youth and protect the city. So I think we should really put it to a vote to protect both sides.
I'm gonna make a motion. I can make a motion, right?
Yeah, well, right.
She's making a motion, but I want to make a motion to table.
Yeah, I'd love to just come into City Hall one day and like talk to you guys. That's what I did in Atlantic City.
Yeah,
I've been in meetings.
Can I touch
there,
base on that? I've been trying to do that for the last 3 months and trying to get it on the agenda, trying to get it talked. Nah, we can't do it at City Hall. Nah, we have to talk about it. Nah, we got to vote on this.
Well, there's still a lot of questions.
I know, and that's what, that's what we're here for, to answer these questions.
I don't
Get
think
this
we're in
thing
a
moving.
position to vote on this right now.
I mean, we could have been in this position 3 months ago to vote on.
Yeah,
If I make a
I agree, though.
motion.
It's just
we
been
can
I already
table
made
it.
a motion to table.
Every
So,
meeting
is
is
there a
dragged
second?
and dragged and dragged.
We have a motion made and seconded to table. That takes precedent Over any other motion?
Are you gonna hear the rest of the comments from the public? I know these three right here said they
Just a
were
couple
here.
minutes.
Yeah, before we even motion, I think we're kind of pushing it because of other people not understanding it when it's really not too much.
Yes.
Can I finish what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, Tanner, I
I-
apologize.
I know that there's a lot to understand with it, and it seems more that there's like there's a lot of scariness with it, but I mean, just because you don't understand the liability that comes with it, I mean, like, I agree with Mason a lot. We're gonna table this and table this and table this until somebody, it just because people don't have a.
And set up a special meeting where we can have a discussion just about this, because we have a lot of other business to attend
It's
to.
okay, but I don't think that should be a time factor. That's, some meetings go long. I think that the public has come, they've invested their time.
Right.
I think that we should
Well-
hear from them.
Hold on, if there's a motion and a second to table, that should be voted on. And then, I mean, right now, you're allowed to discuss whether or not.
You know,
want this
I'll
person-
rescind that, and we'll ask these guys to get up. and say it.
I'll go first.
You guys want me to sit down?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Can I ask Jason a question?
Sure.
Is there a cost for your people to participate in the park?
Nope, just like any other
You don't
public
have to have
park.
it.
No,
And do you ask for liability waivers? And how do you issue those liability waivers?
just like every single other skateboard park in New Jersey, except for Ocean City, New Jersey, that I know, because they don't want people from outside their community coming into their community. None of the other parks in New Jersey have what you're talking about. They just make a basketball court open to the public, and there are. Yeah, it is a lot safer than you guys would think. People get hurt a lot more doing pickleball, and that leads into lawsuits more than skate parks. And this is all stuff I've researched that you can feel free to use ChatGPT and look it all up.
But is it more, when someone gets injured in pickleball, it's usually an ankle or something like that.
Sure.
Where somebody gets injured on a skateboard, I think it's a lot more.
I've been skateboarding for 25 years and I've never broken a bone.
Oh, really?
Anything can happen. I can fall in a pickleball court and the pickleball thing falls in my eye socket.
Well, like.
I mean, have to think about-
Of course, some things are more dangerous
Okay.
than others.
We're gonna bring up.
In the city hall and
Thank
talk
you.
to
No, is that more about one of the voters?
Yeah, I got
They
it.
want
Yeah, but I think that's what another state. There's only one. Better, take your name and.
My name is this on?
Yeah.
My name is Michael Mars. I live not too far from the park. I live over in Ella Village.
Okay.
I've been over there for about 20 years. I like to go outside and exercise, ride my bike, so I always like to stop at the park on a nice day. So I'm not here to advocate against a skate park. We're talking about the benefits of the skate park. What I'm here to advocate for is the benefits of Lincoln Park. Because I've been watching this on Facebook and I seen where, as it was progressing, that Lincoln Park was the preferred site. And these are just my thoughts on maintaining Lincoln Park as it is. So,
Well, before you go any further, I think it was established already that site really does not
We
work
gotta,
because we need to do some remediation.
And also a concern was that to get access to Lincoln Park for the kids in the city, they would have to cross over Route 30 in a manner. And that wouldn't be, overall, that wouldn't be a safe thing to have happen on a daily basis.
okay, so it appears that it's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, right.
Not-
Okay, so that being said, I'll just summarize my points here then, okay? So I was just gonna say that, communities, they need, just as he was saying, they need places for the kids, recreation. We also need green spaces, parks for people, okay? And mainly what I was touching on here was that when I moved here about 20 years ago, I seem to remember Lincoln Park being even bigger than it is now. So they came in, we needed the commuter parking lot for the city and to draw people here. They built that, they built the street there, but that took up a sizable part of what I seem to remember as the park here. The park is already smaller than it was, okay? So I was just sort of alarmed when I, heard about us reducing it more and when I saw the graphic on Facebook taking another slice out of that. I don't think we should do that. I think that we have undeveloped areas We have areas in need of development. We have the area over there by the Public Works. And I just hope that we go in that direction. Okay, so that's all I
Thank you.
had to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want?
I'll keep it short.
Yeah, Bubba. You didn't say your name.
My name's Eric Lang. And I just want to say I love everybody here. And thank you all for your service. I love Egg Harbor City. And I think Lincoln Park is a great place. Skate park sounds good too. But cutting down the trees, like those trees are my friends. So I thought I'd come in here and just respectfully, humbly advocate for them to not be cut down. That's all. But if you guys are gonna cut them down, whatever.
We're
Okay?
not cutting
No,
down.
they're not cutting that yet.
I'm not cutting down trees in Lincoln Park.
That's all I gotta say. Peace and love, everybody.
Peace and love, all right.
Anyone else? All right,
Okay.
so now I'd like to make that the table, do this. And for very soon, have a
Can we make a
council meeting, special
motion?
council meeting.
Do we make a motion at least today on the location? It seems like we know the location.
Well, we gotta get it approved first and then it'll.
When you say table,
Like, look into that location. How about that?
can we?
Yeah.
If there's a motion on the floor, there needs to be a second.
we Put
Joe,
a.
you-
Wait, hold on. There's a motion on the floor. There needs to be a second, and then you can discuss it. So, there you go. There you go.
The table.
The table, but now you can discuss.
But can we put a time frame on how long we're tabled? Like, we will have a special meeting on or.
We can set a
or-
date.
or
We'd have to
within-
look at the calendar and
Okay.
figure out, but soon. I'm not saying a month from now.
We're talking
Okay.
public meeting or?
Public workshop meeting, city council.
Can I make a point of order? I don't think we need to table it. It wasn't on the agenda. It's not an action item.
Yeah, but it is a discussion. It's
It's a
been going on.
discussion. I think we just need to set a meeting date to hash this
Okay,
out.
That's a fair point.
We had a
It's a
meeting.
fair
All
point.
right. So,
Are you making that motion to do that?
No, she's a point of order. That was,
Motion to set a meeting
Okay.
date.
so let's look at the calendar. Our next meeting is on the 26th. Why don't we do it that same night and do it earlier? We have budget for it. We do have budget for it. Okay. How about the 25th?
Wednesday, the 25th.
Wednesday, the 25th.
At what time?
25th?
6:00.
6 PM. And is that, a public meeting? Like,
has to be a public meeting.
Yeah, it has to be a
Okay.
Public meeting. And then we can spend all the time on that.
6 o'clock.
Ask questions?
Yeah.
Will we have an answer that night? We won't have another meeting after that, another meeting after that, another meeting after that?
It depends what probably happens at the meeting.
I
Because
can't
there's
say
people that
yes or no.
call,
Take a vote.
keeps asking if they're gonna, like, for both sides, you know? So it might, who knows what will happen at the meeting.
Well, I agree with somebody's point over here that the
Yeah.
site is one thing that we need to do.
Right, we gotta get
If
this.
we're gonna agree to do this.
Right.
So, but I don't know if we've agreed to do this yet.
That's what I'm saying, we have to agree to do it first before.
But I think we need
decide on the
that
site.
meeting to really, they answered a lot of questions. The 501c3 seemed to me like the best idea.
Yeah.
And I think
Mhm.
everybody feels good
I
about
mean,
that.
they answered all those questions the
Okay,
last.
so you're saying that on this meeting on the 25th, Wednesday, the 25th, we will decide as a council whether or not to have a skate park.
It'll be advertised and that'll be the one topic for.
Yeah.
No other agenda items. Yes.
We should come to that meeting prepared, like with the background information on this 501c. So we understand whether it's applicable or similar to our rec deals that we have now.
It's no different.
Is Jason still here?
Yeah.
Okay, so can he get us that information and
And
have all
maybe,
that?
maybe a plan rendering, size of it,
Mhm.
property necessary, all that kind of stuff.
Rick, can you do me a favor? Can you look at Jeremy when you're talking, because Jeremy's going to be the one to come in and he might be, so he knows exactly what you're talking about, so he can get that information for.
Well, it's not for me.
For our
it's
meeting.
it's
Right, that's,
Yeah.
So we come to the meeting with information.
It's given to us.
Actually, I would conflict that, but.
I need to.
How was the night before?
24th.
And now I have to screen team
I-
meetings the night.
I'm ready for this. but I'm only one set for 9 or whatever.
Did the gentleman here, what Mr. Dovey, what
Jeremy.
Councilman Dovey said?
Oh, yeah.
So you'll be prepared with everything you need to be prepared with?
In advance.
Very well.
I'll need it in advance.
Yeah.
You'll get it to me in advance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we gotta settle the table and,
Move on.
so let's vote on that first.
Oh, no, we don't have to do anything, right?
No, we don't have to, it's
No.
not on the agenda, it doesn't even.
So we're gonna make a motion to have a special meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there a
I'll make that
motion?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded for Wednesday, March 25th at 6 o'clock. A special meeting of city council to discuss the skate park. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right, that's right.
All right.
This is why they call government elections. It's not such a.
Mrs. Galloway, do you want to speak on your committees? and
Oh, yes.
Talk about which committees you're reporting on.
All right, I did not attend the safety meeting today, Jerry, or Meg, maybe you could give a little recap of what happened at that meeting.
Good job.
Sustainable Egg Harbor City, I passed out the flyer for some of, we have 6 events planned. I'm not gonna go through them all, but, concentrating on bees and butterflies and pollinators, so all programs.
If you want to have discussions, you please take it out into the hallway so that we can hear what the people on the dais are saying. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we will post information on the website, sustainableehc.org. We have programs, we have beekeeper coming. We have Arbor Day is going to be free trees for backyards. People have asked for fruit trees and small flowering trees. We'll have a program, well, actually 2 programs on growing tomatoes. One will be, we'll give away some plants, and another one will be how to can them, freeze them there. And then we'll have a potting party. We're going to concentrate on getting some pollinator plants to plant. We want to increase the amount of milkweed in the city. I have purchased milkweed seeds, so they'll be available for the public. Our next green team meeting is 7 p.m. Tuesday, March 24th. And this is important if anybody's interested in attending. Steve Fiedler will be there to discuss the wild and scenic designation for the Egg Harbor River. The Great Egg Harbor River is, what did I say? The Mullica River. Great Egg Harbor River is already designated as wild and scenic, and it offers some benefits and a protection for the river. So it'll be an important one to attend if you're interested. It'll be here at City Hall. And this isn't related to the Green Team, but I did get contacted by the Peace Pilgrim group, and they want to hold their walk this year on Peace Pilgrim's birthday, July 18th, and they have a new initiative. They have some new members on their international board, and they're interested in getting walks done in every town that Peace Pilgrim walked through across the country. They have a map with all the towns she visited, and they're going to be contacting all these communities. So they're asking for Egg Harbor City support for that, and so I'll have a resolution for the next agenda.
Okay.
That's all I have.
That's cool.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Hesse.
I have nothing for Rotary. However, as far as the code, there is a resolution to hire 2 people that we had interviewed.
It's not on the agenda. That'll be an add-on from Jerry.
That'll be an add-on.
Yeah, it just happened.
I know, I had seen it, so I figured everybody saw it.
Everyone received a copy, but I'll read it into the record. But yes, that's correct.
And what I also wanted to ask is, can we please post a job opening for code enforcement that since
Yes.
we'll be leaving on the.
Yes. Yeah. And so I wasn't sure if he was leaving until early this morning. So yes, I'll get that posted right away.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Timber,
I have nothing.
Mr. Dovey,
No report.
Hannah,
No report.
Mr. Sen,
No, I'm good, thank you.
Mrs. Ice.
Yeah, just one thing, the licensing committee, after speaking with Meg and Jackie, the first thing we would like to do is, all games of chance, through the churches, the high schools, anybody who comes in and gets a license for a game of chance. That would be any bingo game, any 50-50, any purse bingos they do, anything through the high school, the churches. They have to pay a
Basket raffles.
They have to pay a fee to the state in order to get a license to do that. They do not pay anything to the city to have the paperwork processed. We are entitled to get the same amount that the state gets to have that paperwork processed. We have never charged for it in all these years. These girls give the paperwork out. They go over the paperwork. If the paperwork is wrong, they correct the paperwork. They are the people that the state calls if there's an issue with the paperwork. So we would like to change the ordinance that we charge the same amount that the state does when that paperwork is processed, that we get what the state does. They said that when most people walk in to get their license, they walk in with 2 checks. What do we owe the state? What do we owe the city? And they tell them what they owe the city, nothing. So
Most other towns.
most other towns do charge. Now, the state also charges if they do a bag bingo and they make $13,000, the state gets a percentage of that back. They have to pay the state a certain percentage they make on their profits. We don't want to charge that. We just want to charge the fee that the state charges when they receive their license.
It's not a big fee. It's 20
It's
bucks.
like 20.
You know, it's
But we feel that it's something that
the processing.
and the process, like a processing fee for what they do with their time and their effort to do that. So we wanted to bring it in front of council to find out if you guys would feel that that would be a fair and legitimate thing.
Just so
Yes.
not anybody can just get a license. You have to be licensed by the state to even hold the raffles. But you know,
right?
Like the school has to have the biennial license from the state, the registration to hold these raffles. Like not just anyone can come in and apply.
And they
have a
renew
raffle.
it every 2 years.
So this has to,
These raffles that people are having around town that aren't saying, you know, I mean, now, but.
so this has to be
like the
done by
state's code-
ordinance.
Yeah.
So we'll have to have the ordinance prepared.
Yeah, right, and I shared with you with other towns too, I mean.
Right.
You prepare something for the introduce maybe the next meeting if you want
Right, we
to.
wanted to bring it here, put it in front of everybody, make sure that everybody was in agreement that we felt that this was fair, that we did this, and then we could
I
take
don't
it.
think we need to take a vote on it.
No,
But-
I mean, we.
No, what we would do is we'll prepare an ordinance for council's consideration.
Okay, as long as everybody feels that just, you know,
Meg, I'm curious, what's the fee for the state license now?
Like, it depends if it depends what the prize amount, if people have to guess what they would get on a 50-50. So it's like $20, say $20 on the 1,000, something like that.
I mean, they're not, they're hard to get. I remember. I got-
Oh, you're talking about the license to apply. I think it's like $200 every other year, but you have to meet certain criteria to get that.
And you
Yeah.
have to list every person. that's
But
going in.
that's through the state. We don't get involved in them getting a license
So
to have
the
this.
state is, the fee is 200. You want to charge 200?
No. That's to get a license for an organization, say, Cedar Creek football team. They have a license to have, but they have to apply every 2 years and show proof that they're a nonprofit.
Right,
and-
but what happens is if you're gonna hold a raffle in town, you have to go and get the town and then the state permission to hold a raffle on that day. And there's like a $20 fee for that. And I think what the councilwoman is suggesting is that this, right now,
We don't
the
charge
state is getting the $20. The city is also, doesn't have an ordinance that would allow the city to also collect the $20. And they're doing all the processing, so.
Right, and you can't, the state doesn't allow you to charge more than they get. Like, it's capped, like
Okay, so that's something we can prepare for the
Yeah.
next meeting too.
if you're, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
they know.
I say. Let's vote on it. All in favor,
Aye.
or is it first, but we need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So prepare the ordinance.
Yeah.
Right, chief of police?
We were struck by lightning last night. They were still working on our servers went down. Some of our stuff was fried, so they are still working on fixing everything. That being said, I was not able to access all of our stuff, so I had nothing.
That fits right in tonight's there, right?
Joe,
Go
she
ahead.
was excellent taking care of business today, though. She was. She took care of everything.
Thank you. All right, number 9, CFO,
I don't have anything, thank you.
city clerk.
I just want to mention next Tuesday, we're having an on-site wellness screening for if anybody wants to come, blood pressure, pre-diabetes risk assessment, glucose.
When is this?
It's next Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 2.
St.
And-
Patty's Day.
Yeah, it's here at City Hall and it's
Glucose.
Atlantic Coast. Atlantic Care is partnering with the Mayor's Wellness Program, so that will be here in this room next Tuesday. That's
Okay.
all.
Thank you. City attorney.
I have nothing.
Okay. City administrator.
This year we had an ice storm. We had a blizzard. We were hit by lightning. I had to I asked an employee to salt sidewalks today after 2 or 3 80-degree days. And next Tuesday, we are planning for another snowstorm. So this is the test of wits and all of that other stuff. But I really don't have much. I took a lot of time. I do want to say that at the safety committee meeting, the one thing that was very important was that we have a website. I think Jody checked on our website to make sure that the website is also ADA compliant. We are starting on a $400,000 project at City Hall, designed by RVE and managed or built by Maxwell Construction. So ADA is very important. It seems like the theme of this spring. But Jody, there's a couple of websites that are linked to ours, like Sustainable EHC. So I don't know if you checked on those as well.
What would have to be?
Something about the font and I think we can send you.
I mean, I don't know that they would be required to be.
I don't know. It's just that it's linked to ours, so I was, concerned about it. I'm not sure if there's any others that are linked to ours. I just found our EHC, our Sustainable EHC linked to ours. So there's requirements as far as ADA on our website, and I want to make sure that we're complying. So I'll work with Jody to make sure that we get those.
Great. Thank you, Jerry.
That's it. Thank you.
Jerry, did you have I have one question.
Yeah, Donna.
Meetings going to be during the day, or are they going to go back to Nanette planning them through committee?
So safety committee meetings are prepared for quarterly meetings, 10 a.m. In City Hall, and then if the safety committee wants to have a separate meeting on their own. So at this meeting, we talk about insurance claims. We talk about employees getting hurt. We talk about returning back to work. We talk about a lot of internal stuff. But if the safety committee wants to have a separate meeting, we do have minutes from these meetings. So they could have a separate meeting in the evening when council members are available, and then we could go over the minutes and I can discuss or add whatever questions, answer any questions that you may have.
So maybe your meeting during the day with the quarterly meetings, maybe call it something else other than safety committee, because the safety committee has been confused about that. So maybe call it risk management assessment.
It's a requirement of our statewide insurance fund. We have to have quarterly meetings, and we go over training, we schedule training, and we look at issues and problems within our workforce. It's basically DPW and police that cause all the problems. So, but we have staff there that help us manage these claims. So it shouldn't be a safety committee meeting similar to our safety committee. It could be something else, and I'll start calling it something else, but it is a requirement of our insurance coverage.
I was just gonna say, if it had to be during the day, I was gonna ask that someone else, because I cannot do it during the day. I was gonna ask that someone else take my place, because I felt it was unfair to be on the committee and not be able to attend the meetings. But it's completely different than.
Yeah, these are really for employees.
Right, then I understand that, and we'll just work
It's
on.
two separate.
Right, it's two separate entities.
Yeah, and it's not like, I mean, Nanette tried to get on, we got hit by lightning, so we didn't have our email up and all of that. So I ended up apologizing because I didn't see Nanette's email asking for a quick Zoom, which I could have easily set up. But if a council member wants to attend, of course, I don't stop anybody from attending. It's just that it's an internal discussion with a lot of detail regarding our employees and managing the risk that we have with employees and our operation.
Jerry, did you want to mention the resolution for hiring?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. So I just want to bring it up, Meg, if I could.
You're allowed.
Yeah, I just want to find it, actually. Okay, so the resolution, Council President, the resolution that I need to read into the record, I don't have a number for it, but is the resolution to hire part-time employees. Whereas the city of Egg Harbor has a need to hire employees, we would be asking council to consider hiring Mr. Brian Malazzo, part-time code enforcement officer, assistant construction official, $30 per hour, up to 20 hours per week with no benefits. He does have his construction official designation. And then we have a resignation. Today was his last day, actually. Mr. Rich Saunders, who has been our construction official and our building subcode. And we would be passing on that responsibility to Mr. Stephen Buckhofer, who is currently our fire, electric, and plumbing subcode, and is also our fire official. We would be adding to him the title of construction official, which basically is the connection between our office and the DCA, and building subcode official.
He doesn't have building subcode. I just talked to him before the meeting.
Okay. So Brian has building subcode, so we'll work that out. I think that was probably a misunderstanding that I had. So we'll get that straightened out. And then
You mentioned 20 hours. It's 28 on the paper.
28, I'm sorry, I meant to say 28 if I said be up to 28 hours per week. And then Mr. Buckhofer would be our construction official. $11,000 would be added to his current salary of $17,425 for his subcode work.
Okay.
Jerry, will he be overseeing the code enforcement as well?
Yes. It is his full-time job in Willingboro, and he would be doing that for us on a part-time, on-call type of basis.
Okay, is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Roll call.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist.
I have a question. Can we put this through if it's not correct on here?
It is correct.
It
You
is
just
correct.
misspoke.
Because
Oh, you're talking about the building subcode.
the
Yeah,
building,
would be removing building subcode. Thank you. Good catch.
that should be on Mr. Malazzo and not Mr. Buckhofer.
That's correct. Yep. Thank you.
But Mr. Rowe, if it's not written correctly on this.
No, we're going to correct it.
Meg corrected it. You can do the motion on the amended motion.
It's different than an ordinance. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was corrected.
So we can. Okay,
Yes.
yes.
All right, where was I? Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Ortiz,
Yes.
Sen,
Yeah.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so engineer.
Sure.
So engineer.
Yeah, I'll keep it short. Buffalo Avenue, we are looking to start work on Monday. Weather dependent, we'll see how that goes. The campground, we are working through the design as quickly as possible, trying to get all the permit documents ready to go out the door. City Hall improvements, we're making material selections, processing submittals, they're ordering materials. Like we talked about, we're gonna make sure that they have pretty much everything lined up so they can come in and sweep through as quick as possible.
Excuse me, Ryan.
Yes.
When should that start? Do you have an idea, projected date?
Not yet. It's gonna depend on some of the longer lead times. We don't see anything being longer than 4 to 6 weeks. But we're still getting submittals in to approve, so they have to send them to us, we have to review them, the city's making some material selections. Once that process is all flushed out and they get them back, that's when they actually place orders, so we should know I would say in another 2 to 3 weeks, we should have a very, very good idea on the schedule. But we talked, when we had our pre-construction meeting, we talked with them about, like timing the dais work, the work that's required in here to be in between meetings. So like, we'll have a meeting and then they can start Friday, do their demo of the whole week to do the work, the following week. So we won't disrupt a regular council meeting. Sure. New Orleans Avenue subdivision, I saw the solicitor's office sent stuff over to the county for review and approval on the conditions that were required as part of the approval. So once those are approved, we can finally circulate the plat and get that filed. iBank project, we need to place an ad probably within the next week or week and a half. Their advertising requirements are crazy. You have to advertise 30 days prior to when you're going to advertise. So you have to advertise, wait 30 days, then advertise the job, and then it has to be out for 30 days. So we're trying to do that next advertisement within the next week to 10 days. That would put our bid opening at some point in May, and then we could award in June, and there's some time for DEP to approve everything. So we're on track for that.
Which facility is that?
That is the stormwater improvement project. They're like $2+ million in clean water funding.
Do we have a location or?
Oh yeah, it's primarily on Beethoven Street. There's splinters up to Arago and a couple side streets. But yeah, we designed it and submitted it to them in March of last year. So it took a long time to get back, but we're still on track to get the FY26 money and then hopefully move on to the FY27 project. And then the last thing is the senior center ADA improvements. We did a site survey the other day. We have a LiDAR scanner, went scan the inside so we can design all those improvements. So yeah, that's the active stuff at the moment. HEREC, we finished the survey, even though there's still some snow on the ground. But we have our site plans and we're finally ready to submit that, I think. Oh, yeah.
Two things. Deer Street.
So Deer Street, the county is performing the work. We held a meeting with them, a coordination meeting with them here like 3 weeks ago now. Just to talk through. They didn't think it was really going to have any impact on the school, and the one that they were focusing on was the Havana Avenue, the community school. And they didn't realize that the only way to get to the elementary school is from Deer Street. So we had a probably hour and 15-minute meeting here, and we talked through how they can phase everything and how they can sort of shift their detours so that they'll provide access to Buffalo Avenue from Deer Street at all times. So there'll be a series of revolving detours. It might be 3 different days in a row, 3 different detours. So it'll be a little bit of confusion, but every day there will be access to
Starting Monday also.
Buffalo Avenue School. Well, it was originally slated to start Monday. They pushed it a week or so.
Yeah, maybe the end of next week, more likely the following Monday.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
the schools have been notified. I sent them the detour routes, so.
I saw it on Facebook.
good.
So,
Yeah, Karen said that.
Yeah, they, you'll see they're gonna start the work. They have work in Galloway, that's gonna occur before this. So you'll see work start down there, and then you'll figure you're a week and a half to 2 weeks from when you see the work start in Galloway.
And one other thing, can you talk about the change at your company?
Sure. So Remington and Vernick Engineers became part of Ardora, which is a larger national engineering company. So we have about 2,600 employees stretching clear across the United States. But yeah, so we are operating as Remington Vernick at least for the next year or so. But it seems that we will eventually be part of the larger Ardora company. So.
But we'll still have you.
Yeah, there's, you're right. So I sort of glazed over that. No real like internal changes. Everyone, literally everyone in the entire company is staying, our whole management structure. Ardora has no current presence in the Northeast. They had nothing north of Virginia. So they didn't like buy us to merge it with somebody else. It's just a division within the company essentially. So they're not planning on really changing anything. It's just sort of folding into that larger umbrella.
And legally, we don't have to make any changes.
Not till next year.
Well, if they're not making any changes, not right now.
Yeah.
If they change during the term of their contract, you'd have to amend do an amended resolution just to recognize the new entity.
Right. Yeah, we're still operating as Remington and Vernick 2 LLC, I think is the technical legal name at the moment. But yeah, we're still operating as that entity. We have thousands of contracts all over the place. And we had that discussion as part of that merger was, we're not going to, overcomplicate that. As contracts cycle through, we'll turn them over, but at this point, we continue.
And just a fact that Remington and Vernon's 125 years old.
Correct.
And Egg Harbor City has been a client of them for all 125 years.
First and continuous,
I
yeah.
wasn't here when we.
No, I thought this meeting started.
But yeah, we will still be celebrating our 125th anniversary as Remington and Vernon Kansas City.
Okay, anybody have any questions for anyone? Number 14, resolution, budget appropriation, reserve transfer. Wait, first motion. Motion made, second, questions?
Yeah, why are we transferring 20,000 into DPW?
So that way I can move money to the storm trust.
It is for the storms.
Yeah.
I figured, I just wanted that.
Roll call.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes,
Ortiz,
Yes.
Sen,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright.
resolution passes. Number 15, resolution for 100% disabled veteran tax exemption case number 2026-02.
Mr. Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, questions? Roll call.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yeah,
Ortiz,
Yes.
Sen,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright.
Yeah.
motion passes. Number 16, resolution 100% disabled veteran tax exemption case number 2026-03.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made and seconded, questions? Roll call.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes,
Ortiz,
Yes.
Sen,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
resolution passes. Number 17, 100% disabled veteran exemption case number 2026-01 refund of 2025 property tax.
Make the motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, questions?
I do have one question. I just wanted to ask Jody something. We do get monies back from the state. We do.
No, there's actually legislation that they're trying to work on to try to force the state to give the municipalities money back since they're the ones who.
Yeah.
that.
Okay, I wasn't sure whether we
Yeah,
did or
apparently
we
we-
didn't.
no,
because I looked
unfortunately-
it up and I thought they did.
Roll call, please.
Okay.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes,
Ortiz,
Yes.
Sen,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright.
Yeah.
resolution passes. Number 18, 100% disabled veteran tax exemption case 2025-02, refund of 2025 property taxes.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, questions? Roll call, please.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes,
Ortiz,
Yes.
Sen, Timbers,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
resolution passes. Okay, number 19 is a public hearing of ordinance number 4-2026. Abolishing the ordinance opting into the Garden State CPACE program to facilitate and finance CPACE projects adopted on September 11, 2025.
Motion.
Motion made, or second, or second?
Second.
Second. Motion made and seconded. Questions?
It was for public comment, right?
No, this is,
Yeah. public
Yeah,
hearing.
public comment.
Yes.
Here.
Open to the public.
okay. It says adoption.
We're gonna do public hearing.
Public hearing. Public hearing is open. Oh, let's make a motion. Is there a motion to open?
Second.
That's what we do.
Motion made and seconded.
Yeah. It's a public hearing.
We're just abolishing the one we created last year because we had to make some changes and we adopted at the last meeting.
Okay, public hearing is open. Anyone wish to be heard? Seeing none, so motion to close the public
Make the
hearing.
motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That was supposed to be roll call.
Okay, now, motion, is there a motion to adopt?
Make a motion. Second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Ortiz,
Yes.
Sen,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright.
Ordinance passes and it will be posted on the city website. Number 20, public hearing, ordinance number 5-2026. Amending chapter 235, streets and sidewalks, article 7, titled Tree Removal and Replacements. Is there a motion to hold a public hearing?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, public hearing is open for ordinance number 5-2026. Anyone wish to be heard?
I have a question. I have a couple of questions. Okay, well, it basically comes down to this, and I believe Councilwoman Galloway answered me in the affirmative 2 weeks ago. My question is, according to this ordinance, I'm reading it, no trees shall be removed until the code enforcement department or the city's ISA certified arborist has reviewed and approved the removal. And then a couple pages later, it says any person aggrieved by the decision of the city, da, 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 da. My question is, can a resident be denied permission to take down a tree on their property?
Yes,
Yes,
They can be.
yes.
according to the way the ordinance is written, yes, they can.
Okay.
City Administrator Arborist, would you elaborate on that?
Sure. Thank you. So earlier today, and I apologize because today was a crazy day, but earlier today, I did send out an email to clarify that I've done this now for 3 municipalities. Egg Harbor City is one of the 3, and I continue to do it for some other municipalities. And typically, a tree that is requested to be removed is most of the time, almost 95% of the time, the way I keep my statistics, is either dead or diseased or dying. And so I identify the risk that typically the homeowner already knew or may have been told about by a tree company, and I approve that removal. There are few instances where someone wants to remove a tree and the tree is somewhat healthy. And so in my case, I and the homeowner talk about pruning the tree or potentially cabling the tree, which is putting a cable between 2 branches that could be potentially weighted differently with an unbalanced canopy. But most of the time, because trees cost tens of thousands of dollars to remove, or thousands of dollars, I apologize, thousands of dollars to remove, typically wholesale removal of trees is just so costly, people tend to not do it instead of do it more.
Okay, well, what if I want to add an addition onto my house and there's a perfectly, albeit healthy tree in my yard where my new living room wants to be?
Right. So I would be asking you, if it's a perfectly healthy tree, that while you're taking it down, you would say, I want to put a large addition on my house. It has to come down. And then I wouldn't deny the tree to be removed, but I would request, as the ordinance says, to plant a new tree in its place somewhere else on your property.
And I have no problem with that. Let's say I'm not wanting to remove a healthy tree, say for a home extension, but I just don't want this tree in my front yard anymore. And a healthy tree, but I just want it down and it's on my property.
Right. There has to be.
I agree to plant a tree in its place once I take the perfectly healthy tree down just because I want it down. Can I be denied the right to take that tree down?
Now, you'd be required to replace a tree. You'd be required to make a tree replacement, right, Jerry?
That's correct.
In 4B2, resident who removes a non-street tree, which would be one on your property, that is not deemed a hazard with a diameter of 6 inches or greater is required to plant a replacement tree.
Yep.
The way the ordinance is.
So then I will not be denied.
No,
to take
I will,
as long as I plant another tree.
So the way the ordinance works is if anybody removing a tree on the property has to come in and do a $25
no problem
application. Okay. And then if the tree, an arborist comes out and looks at it and says, okay, the tree is unhealthy, you're not required to plant a replacement tree. If it's a hazardous tree, I'm just explaining the whole ordinance.
Okay.
Right. So if it's considered not a healthy tree, you have no replacement obligations. If it is a healthy tree determined by the arborist and you still want to remove it, then you have the requirement to replace it, to plant a replacement tree.
But I will be able to remove the tree as long as I agree to plant another tree.
Correct. That's the way. ordinance work.
You will be. I will try
I can't.
vigorously to talk you out of it, but you will be able to do it if
That's-
you need to do it. Yes.
That is how the ordinance is written, is that the ordinance only requires a replacement tree if the tree is not deemed a hazard. But it doesn't say that you can be not denied the right to take the tree down. What it can say is that if you take down a tree that's not otherwise a hazard, you have a requirement to replace a replacement tree. You have a requirement to plant a replacement tree. That's what the ordinance.
And the real, and Joe, just real quick, if I could say, the real reason why the DEP wanted this ordinance that every municipality, so they tied it into the MS4 permitting process, is because people were taking down trees without replanting trees, healthy trees without replanting trees. And so really the goal of the DEP is to make sure that if a healthy tree comes down, a healthy tree gets planted so that the canopy can rejuvenate itself over time.
Correct. It's a tree replacement ordinance. It's not denying the homeowner the right to remove a tree. It just says, remove a healthy tree, you have an obligation to plant a healthy tree somewhere else.
Okay.
And you answered my question, Jared, by mentioning the DEP.
Yeah.
Actually requiring us to do that.
They're requiring everyone to do it. Yes.
Which begs the question to me, why have a local public vote on it if this is being mandated by the state? Why are we even?
Because
why are we voting?
I would think it's very similar to the Pineland situation where they don't have enforcement power in Egg Harbor City. We do. And that's why we have our local ordinance, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
If I'm not mistaken.
Just like stormwater management regulations and things like that. DEP regulates, DEP mandates it, municipalities have to implement it and enforce it.
And if we didn't, then we get.
You get fined.
You get fined. Right.
DEP will find, yeah.
Well,
And in Jerry's, he tried to sneak it through before and it didn't go.
I tried. I really did try. So I apologize, but I did try.
A lot in the ordinance.
Yeah.
The first thing that, and everybody in this room should be concerned about it, is at this present time, the people who own homes in Egg Harbor City are responsible for their street trees.
Right.
They're how old? 100 years old. They cost grand to remove. So without adopting this ordinance, everybody in town would still have the responsibility for taking care of those. Adopting this ordinance puts the onus on the city to take care of those street trees.
Okay.
We got $2 million, well, close to $2 million to take care of that. It's a 4-year program. Not adopting the ordinance puts that $2 million in jeopardy.
Yeah, and that's good.
I don't want to see that happen.
My only question was, if I don't have a street tree and it's healthy, I want to be able to take that tree down with the agreement that I will plant another tree. I cannot be denied. In the end, what you're saying, what I hear you saying is that I can't be told, no, that tree has to stay on your property.
No.
Yeah, you'll be told yes, but you got to plant a tree somewhere else on your property. That's correct.
Okay, but the yes, but I'll plant it on the tree allows tree to come down.
Correct.
That's my.
Yep.
Okay, very well, very well.
The other thing I wanted to say was, this ordinance has been introduced, this is the third time it's being introduced. It was introduced last January with all the requirements recommended by the DEP and the Pinelands Commission, which I supported 100%. It included replacing trees based on the size of the trunk. So if there was you had a big humongous tree, you would have to replace it with 4 or 5 trees. That ordinance, it didn't go anywhere. The council would not adopt it, so we had to redo it. We took all that stuff out. We took everything out and made it the way the public wanted it, which was no requirements, no fees, nothing. We adopted that in December, sent it to the DEP, and they said, you can't do that.
Right.
You have to do a real ordinance and you have to replace any trees that come down in your community.
And we did try to go
This
to
is,
DEP.
this is the end result. And it has went from $250 to $500 replacement, if you can't replace it on your property, fee, to $25 application fee. Now, I just today, here's somewhere, Washington Township, through the woods over the bridge. They have the same ordinance that they adopted recently. Their application fee is $250. Now, when that money goes away that we have, to maintain our street trees. When it's expired and we used it all up, there's no money in our budget to take care of our trees.
Mhm.
So having those fees, those replacement fees would go into a trust fund that would replenish some of that money so that in 3 years' time, when the grants go away, we no longer have any money.
No, that's.
We'd have a little pot of money that if somebody, a tree needed to come down, we'd have the money to go pay. Right now, the grant is paying $750 per tree to remove, that was the bid amount that we accepted. So it's costing the city $750 to address every street tree in town. It's a lot of money. I don't think taxpayers can afford that. So you could turn down the ordinance, you could
Well,
vote against it.
There's pros and cons to that.
My main question was answered and to my satisfaction, so I'll vote for.
You're asking
A
a
minute.
question
Hold on.
about
No.
your tree in your yard.
For anybody's tree.
We can't give you that.
Maximum, when you've won your argument, you
Well,
leave.
no, wait,
Yeah.
you're saying,
Stop talking.
All right, is there a motion?
I got one
To
question.
close the public.
you just said I can't be guaranteed that, so, you just said that.
Because I'm not an arborist, I can't look at your tree and tell you.
Well, I'm not
Where we
asking you, I'm asking if this
You don't have
ordinance
to
says
do it.
that. And according to our lawyer, he says that I will be able to take a perfectly healthy tree down as long as I plant another one.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Mason.
Exactly.
Mason's got.
I have a question. We are planning to do the next phase, if everything goes well, at the north. Now, what do we gotta do with all those trees that are gonna come down?
That's in there, that there's.
No, well, I'm asking, I know it's in there, but what?
Well, you want me to explain it?
No,
No, not today.
Well, he asked the question.
Well, this is public comment, so we should probably close public comment and then you can discuss your.
Make a motion.
I think most of it
We
goes.
didn't hear from the public.
Yes, we did. It was public
It was.
comment.
so
Mainly, my question is this ordinance gonna interfere if we have to take trees down over there?
It's not gonna.
Where?
Here.
Over where? I didn't understand them.
Egg Harbor North, in
Well,
the north
I just
section.
want the answer, will it affect it? So
Doesn't
they have to
affect-
The Egg
redevelop
Harbor
all
North
the streets.
Yeah,
redevelopment.
it will require the new development to plant new trees. Yes, it will.
All the
Yeah.
streets get taken
Not one for one. No, not one for one. It's different. You see it in the ordinance. It's different for development than it is for private property.
Carve out for development.
Okay, development and private owners, right there. Yeah, there's a whole-
Different categories.
That's what I wanted to get to, because I kinda knew that.
Okay.
That's why I
Motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Alright,
Opposed? Motion to adopt.
I'll make the motion.
second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adopt. Roll call.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Getting better.
oh yeah, Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Ortiz,
Yes.
Sen,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright.
Thank you.
Passes and it will be posted on the city website.
Oh, yeah.
Number 21, ordinance number 6, public hearings. Amending chapter 216 of the city code titled Rental Property Registration. So motion to open the public hearing.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Opposed? Public hearing is now open for ordinance number 6. Amending the city code title registration, rental property registration. Anyone wish to be heard? Seeing none, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Make a second.
Motion made second, all in favor?
Alright,
Opposed? Is there a motion to adopt?
make the motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist, Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Ortiz,
Yes.
Sen,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright.
Ordinance adopted and it'll be posted on this city website. Number 22 is our bill list. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Is there questions on the bills? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Dovey.
Yeah.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Ortiz,
Yes.
Sen,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Bills are paid. Number 23, public comment. Anyone wish to be heard on any other?
You to get a recording.
8:54, keep it quick, you know.
She does, she got 4 words.
Hey, Jerry's doing an amazing job. I don't know if anyone.
Well, I miss you, Kiyomi. I miss you.
Mr. President, doing a good job. To the ladies in the office, I don't know if anybody told you, but you guys always did a good job. And Marisol, you too. No one's here to arrest you today. And that, amazing job. It's more than 4 words.
I know you wrote a speech tonight.
And then soon, to with the trees. And that you're playing good. Oh my God. All right, and I hope you get the skate park.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard? Okay, number 24 is comments by city council members, starting with, let's start with.
I have nothing.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. Mr. Ortiz?
That was a great meeting. I'm looking forward to our next meeting so we can talk good stuff about.
Yep.
Skate park. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. David?
I have nothing.
You finish?
When I was young, I rode a skateboard. And you remember a pebble to this day, because I went flying. And I believe I assumed that risk. I was going to tell you.
You
That's
signed
my
the
old
vote?
town.
You
You
signed
just
the
gonna
vote?
say, no, I did not sign.
That's Mrs. Galloway?
I would like to say I had the very first skateboard that was ever manufactured.
Oh, boy.
I'm not that old.
Was that when Remington and Burdick?
Huge.
That when Remington and Burdick came?
Anything else?
After, I guess this will be a good time to tell it. If you haven't known, you're about to know today. I have switched to an independent and I will be running out of independent this year. It took me a couple months to make that decision, but, there's a couple of things that, over a couple of years that I'm just turning my way to go back to an independent. Like I've said for years, I don't believe there should be an R and a D in a small town like this. We should all be here for the city.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, and year after year, you hear both parties, it's all about power. We got power, we got power. I did not sign up here for power. I signed up here for the help for Egg Harbor City. And so after months of telling my wife and everybody, I decided that I am going to go back to an independent and I'll be running as an independent. Just wanted to put that out there. I mean, the mayor, let the mayor know a while ago, but before it got out there, I'm sure Meg already received it. But I thought it goes to city council, but I mean, not city council, the clerk's office.
The petitions aren't due yet.
No, not the petition. This is like the switch of a party or anything.
You have to do that.
I already thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't get.
I didn't know yet.
No.
But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. So that's all.
Okay, good. I just want to say that, we have a lot of projects in our queue for, progress in our city. Some things that are already happening. We're working very hard with some of the eyesores that were in town. We're looking to do some redevelopment, planning for the Main Street, White Horse Pike corridor, where we have a lot of eyesores. We want to try to come up with a plan. We all have ideas of how to do things, but we want to put it in writing and put a plan together. And we're going to do that with our planners and our engineers to do that. And hopefully very soon we'll hear from the Pinelands on what's going on with the studio. And I think that will be a big day in Egg Harbor City. And all the other things that we're working on. I think 2020, the rest of this year, we'll see some of those projects come to fruition. So, or at least start. That's all I have.
I got one question on that. On the studio, all I asked is that if that does go through and they do as a ribbon cutting, that the old council that started that program and got it to go to where it is today can be invited to the ribbon.
I'm sure,
Okay.
that'll be Mr. Saker's plan, but.
Yeah, whoever,
Yeah.
I know there was a lot of old council members that worked on that
Understood,
project.
understood. Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Big motion.
Second.
Motion made, second, all in favor? Opposed?
Good night, everyone.